The woman who caused the death of my best friend just messaged me. My friend, Mark, killed himself 6 years ago because of a girl named Amy, a schoolmate, who accused him of sexual assault. It cost him everything, his scholarship, most of his friends, and even most of his family members abandoned him. His own mother told him to die and burn in hell before going no contact. The only people who believed him were his dad and me. Why? Because the two of us were together all day playing video games in his dad's house. His parents are divorced. During the night Amy claimed that Mark attacked her. I was staying for a week in their house and the date Amy mentioned was the second day of my stay. Amy and Mark knew each other because they're both in the volleyball team of our university. She's not a classmate, she's not a friend, and she's not even an acquaintance. According to the people I've previously talked to, Amy was involved in a girls-only night out with her dorm mates. They've been having deep conversations, and when Amy was asked if she ever had experience in being sawed, she blurted out Mark's full name and a specific date and time. After their night out, the other girls immediately spread this accusation all over Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, calling Mark a rapist. They even messaged some professors and the dean of our department. Amy's family tried to press charges, but the case was dropped after Mark's dad showed countless evidence proving Mark's whereabouts the entire day, including a video of me playing League of Legends while he makes fun of me by being a bad player, taken by Mark himself, that he posted on his Twitter during the exact time Amy claimed that Mark attacked her. During all of this, Amy was nowhere to be found. Of course, things didn't magically stop after proving that Mark was legally innocent. After 6 months of enduring continuous violent harassment from Amy's family and her boyfriend, death threats both online and in person from schoolmates and neighbors, and being abandoned by almost everyone he loved, Mark took his own life in December 2, 2017. People effing celebrated his death because people still believed that he was a rapist. It was one of the most painful experiences that I've ever had in my entire life. He was like a brother to me, and he was one of the kindest and most awesome people that I know. The anger and the grief is still so freaking ripe in my heart even after years of therapy. Yesterday, Amy messaged me after 6 years of silence. The first thing she said? I'm sorry. She effing admitted to randomly saying Mark's name because he was the first person she thought of. She panicked because she never had an experience in being sawed and thought that she was out of place, because most of the girls in that party had experienced saw before. She told me that it was because she was young and stupid. She justified herself by saying that she never thought that it would go out of hand because the other girls promised that their conversation would be a secret. She thought that Mark wouldn't be affected because they don't know each other and have very different social circles. She was too afraid to say anything because her lie spread way too effing much for her to control it. That was the reason why she wasn't nowhere to be found during those times where everything went to hell. I asked her why she was telling me this, and she told me that she had been feeling guilty for the past 6 years and thought that it was time for her to come clean because her therapist told her so. Her family doesn't know. Her boyfriend, they've been together for 8 years now, doesn't know. Mark's family doesn't know. And all of the people who believed her didn't know. She only admitted it to me. I'm so effing angry that I can't even put it into words. This woman killed my best friend and thinks that everything will be okay afterwards? She's the effing reason a good person like Mark is now forever gone. I haven't replied to her, and I'm afraid that I would just say so many horrendous things to her. I don't want to tell Mark's dad because he's still going through grief and has spiraled deep into depression since Mark died. I'm tempted to spread our conversation online, but I know that it would drag me down to the same level as her and her friends. I effing hate everything right now. The top replies, if she really is sorry, you should probably get her to confess to the police. The therapist told her she should come clean, and she tells one of the few people that knew the truth, she's a effing coward. She was a coward from the start. She didn't stop the lies from spreading more because she was afraid to admit that she was lying. Hid the secret for 6 years, and when she finally gathered the courage to confess, she did to someone who already knew it. Shameful. Second reply. Tell her if she is really sorry to attempt to clear it up in the same circles she spread it, publicly. To her whole friends and family, the college, his family, everywhere. Saying it to the one person who knew it was false is a cop-out. If she won't, then put that in the admission up yourself showing you gave her a chance. She doesn't get to just pay lip service and feel better.
Clear his name or carry around the guilt of crushing that man into ending his life.
So sorry for your loss and the unfairness of it all. Third reply.
She should be held accountable.
She cost an innocent man his life and she deserves to experience the consequences of her actions. Not to mention the fact that this is going to hurt those that have suffered so. Don't feel bad about doing it. She didn't feel bad about letting the story go as long and crazy as it did. She deserves to have the book thrown at her. The second story. Am I the idiot for pulling my pants down and showing my husband my underwear after he insisted that I was on my period when I wasn't? My husband has a habit of blaming my behavior/reaction on my period.
For example, when we argue, he'd say, "I won't argue anymore since you tend to act crazy when you're on your period." Or even say, "I know you didn't mean to say that but couldn't help it since it's that time of month for you."
It's so irritating and it prevents me from being allowed to express myself. It happened again last night at dinner table. We had an argument about him forgetting to fill my car with gas after he used it, and when I expressed my frustration he said, "We will not talk about this now since you appear to be on your period." I said that I was not on my period and that this was just me feeling frustrated with him. He insisted he won't talk about this then and insisted he won't hear what I had to say since I was on my period, since I was being irrational during the argument. I snapped and had enough. So I got up, stood in front of him while he was still eating and pulled down my pants and showed him my underwear. He made a grossed out face and shouted, "F that's nasty, I'm eating my damn dinner, damn it." We had a full-blown argument and he said I acted horribly and ruined his appetite by pulling that nasty move. He told me to grow up and stop being spiteful over nothing.
He keeps saying I grossed him out during dinner and made him go to bed hungry.
Am I the idiot? Did I overreact? The top replies. Ignoring the fact that he absolutely refuses to validate your feelings and speaks down to you on a regular basis. Why are you with a man who is disgusted by your vagina?
I can guarantee that my husband would have a very different attitude if I did this at the dinner table.
I think you need to work out whether you want to stay with a guy who seems to be disgusted by you. Second reply. Not the idiot.
But seriously, what are you doing to yourself? Original poster.
You let that man wear the title of husband? What an absolute joke. Also, the first sentence alone makes this not the idiot because he constantly blames your behavior/reactions on your period. Absolutely vile. I am sure many others will echo these sentiments, but run while you still can. What a trash human. Third reply. You're not the idiot, and your husband is a misogynist. He's weaponizing a sexist trope to belittle your emotions and avoid treating you like a person, and it sounds like you're at breaking point. At best, he has no respect for you, and at worst, I'd honestly say his behavior is crossing into emotional abuse territory. Third story. I'm a 39-year-old female and I have a friend who is 22 years old. I lost my son 2 years ago. I have a younger friend who reminds me of him and I'm good to him because of that. Would it ruin the friendship if I told him the truth? This is a little complex to explain, but I'll do my best and I'll try to keep it short. I'm a 39-year-old woman and I lost my son 2 years ago.
He was 18. I never bought him a motorcycle because I thought cars were safer, but he was stubborn. He secretly used his friend's motorcycle. He didn't wear a helmet and
I'm trying to live with that, but it's obviously something difficult to live with. Yet I still try to enjoy life as much as I can, and people from the outside see a regular woman who has her good and bad days. I met this younger guy in August. Despite our age gap, we became good friends very quickly, and there's a reason why this happened. We have something that makes us compatible. He gradually opened up and said, "I've always wanted a caring older woman in my life. I had very bad parents. Yes, I may have friends, but someone older who makes me feel reassured and loved is so amazing. Even just talking to you makes my day. I hope we'll be friends forever." He says, "I respect you a lot. You're a charming, strong, confident, kind woman. You could be a role model and I've already learnt many things from you." He still says he finds me charming. He was actually into me initially, and he still says he considers me very attractive, but he's a very respectful and he doesn't try to cross that boundary. The reason I enjoy the relationship we have is that I like how he feels about me. It reminds me of the relationship I had with my son. I enjoy talking to him about anything. I enjoy listening to him when he's having a bad day. He can hug me whenever he wants if he wants a hug. I just enjoy being there for him, and he makes me so happy when he wants a hug or when he says that my presence makes his life better. He doesn't know anything about this, but it's hard to keep such a secret to yourself. But I'm scared this could push him away. Also, he really holds me in high regard. I'm the strong, confident, charming woman who is kind to him. If I told him the truth, maybe he'd just see me as a broken woman or something like that. Should I tell the truth or should I just keep that secret to myself? If he found out somehow, I could just tell him that I didn't want to share such a sad story. The top replies, I'm so sorry for your loss. My boyfriend doesn't remind me of my brother who passed away in 2012, but he has a very similar body type. I've cuddled with my boyfriend and cried because I miss my brother's hugs and cuddles so much. I don't understand losing a child. That is truly horrendous, but I do understand losing someone that is so close to you and feeling that there is a hole in your soul because of it. Maybe a higher power director acted you to this young man. Bless you, my dear. Second reply. You are both using each other for your own self-interests, which is not necessarily bad if the arrangement is mutually beneficial. Suggest you openly talk with him and ensure there are no misunderstandings about the situation. Fourth reply.
My 20M girlfriend, 19F, is threatening to leave me if I don't like and comment her posts on social media. First of all, to give you some context, we were together for 2 years. I broke up with her 2 months ago and we are now trying to get back together since the beginning of this month. Although the social media thing was not necessarily the reason why I broke up with her, it was always one of the reasons why we had a lot of fights.
I have tried to explain to her many times that I don't like social media and I don't feel comfortable with the idea of exposing myself on it.
She thinks that I don't do it because I don't like her and I am not proud of her. Therefore, she isn't worthy of being shown. However, that isn't the case at all. I've never ever exposed myself on social media. I only use it to chat with people, and that's literally the only reason. I only have published 2 photos in my entire life and both are 5 years old. I have had other relationships in the past and my posture was the same, but still she doesn't believe it. She says that I don't love her because true love is posting pictures with her on social media without her asking me to do so and commenting cute things in her posts and reposting her pictures. I sincerely am unable to understand this because I know what I feel and I know for sure that what I feel isn't defined by what I do or don't do on social media. She is now saying that she will give up on us if I don't change this. I would very much appreciate your thoughts on this. Thank you. Edit. Thank you all very much for your comments and insights. It is helping me to see a lot of things more clearly.
If you're still interested on this matter, I would like to give you all some further context on why I got back to her. She could not accept that I broke up with her, and so she did a lot of things in order for me to notice that. She started consuming drugs, and this was very shocking to me because she was super pure with these things before. She texted me a lot of times saying that she wanted to die and that she couldn't live without me, and her friends were constantly texting me and asking me to go back to her, telling me how bad she was. This of course was touching to me because even though I broke up with her, we were together for a considerably long time and I care and worry about her even if I'm not with her anymore. I tried to help her while at the same time staying faithful to the decision I took, but she could not accept this. She then proceeded to do more and more to catch my attention.
She started talking to a friend of mine in a not so innocent and friendly way. I hope you understand what I mean, cause I don't really wanna talk about this again, and showed me the conversation afterwards.
I was so angry and sad at the same time. By the time this happened, I was already emotionally drained. I was exhausted and I had no idea on how to deal with all this. I said a bunch of mean stuff to her and she started sending me nudes and trying to seduce me, which left me even more frustrated cause I only felt disgusted by her after all that happened. I feel really ashamed by what happened next, but it did happen, so no point in pretending it didn't. I haven't told this to anyone until this moment, so it helps me to put things out here. In some sadistic and sick way. Some days later, I started to feel sexually attracted by her once again. The feeling was very weird and unlike anything else I've ever experienced. Deep down I knew I shouldn't give her that, and most of the attraction I felt was in form of anger, I think. But I think that because of all of this and everything that happened, the feeling was made stronger. Anyways, I don't need to give you more details. You probably figured out by now. So I was with her again and it was really intense, but in the end I could only feel empty and depressed, cause deep down I knew I betrayed myself out of
sexual pleasure. This really broke me because I like to think I am a person with a strong moral code and strong values, and I betrayed myself and everything I believe in for a girl that has only given me reasons to suffer in recent times. And now I'm here. I know I shouldn't keep on doing this, but she pressures me so much I honestly don't know what to do anymore. She was always a bit emotionally unstable and dependent on me, and I think that somehow that passed on to myself, and I feel really lost and confused. Once again, I would really appreciate your thoughts on this, and sorry for
the long text. The top replies. She likes very public extroverted displays of affection. You like to be introverted and keep things private. If both of you aren't willing to bend on this, maybe it's time to realize this relationship isn't a good match. It's not impossible to overcome, but someone has to give in.
She wants some extra validation and wants other people to see it.
Do you want to maintain that need? 2 years is not a small relationship for your age, but this is a dynamic time in your life where things change quickly. While you are growing up, you may be growing apart.
Second reply. She needs constant public validation.
She will always need this. I have a friend that needs it too. Her husband has to constantly go on FB and say something like "You're the best thing to ever happen to me," or "I love you more than life." If he doesn't, she gets depressed. I'm not talking sad and upset, I mean full on depression, goes to therapy and needs meds. Depressed. If you know you won't be that guy that posts how much he loves her, end it now. If you are that guy, you know what to do.